817 at KFire 550, 99.7 in your free iHeart app. Free never sounded so good. It's almost as good as the sound of your favorite weapon in hand. And how's that for a segue to guns in the 701? Good. Well, guys, close. Well, individual results may vary. Some people. Some
have a bigger bore.
Well, there you go. Wait a minute. The pickle gun?
Oh, the puckle gun.
Oh, puckle gun. God, I was like, with my eyes playing with me, a pickle gun sounds like fun, actually. You can get away with that one just about any place.
My question is, was it the first machine gun? Before the National Firearms Act and all this crazy regulation.
What's a puckle?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was named after Mr. James Puckle, so It was just the last name of the guy who invented it.
Okay.
I found it really interesting. I had a guy send this to me when we were talking Wednesday night, and that's kind of cool. And everybody thinks the Gatling gun came first, right? You've probably heard of the Gatling gun, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it didn't. That was invented in 1862, about 150 years after the Puckle gun. But this James Puckle, of course, he was a writer and an inventor and really big into religion and the defense of it. And, of course, as we know over there at the time in Europe, that it was a Christian religion. So they were embroiled with huge conflicts with the Ottoman Empire, which was very staunch Muslim. And they raided, like Vikings. They went around the world and raided things. Well, they needed some better defense, and he came up with this idea of a hand-cranked, rapid-firing gun, which would have been 9 shots. Was a good idea, but he was using the flintlock-type structure of it, which was not a great, wasn't a great firing mechanism and was not reliable. But I thought the interesting thing was it would interchange so it could use round cartridges when using it in ordinary, battle. But use square bullets. I've never heard of a square bullet.
Square bullet.
They could change it out to use a square bullet for Muslims.
I guess we didn't. Wait, whoa, what?
Yeah, that was his reasoning. Because he thought that by doing that, it would rip them apart violently, really. That ain't in the article, but I went and looked a little farther into this. He figured it would bring more damage to another person, and especially the Muslims, and scare them into finally converting over to Christianity. So, talk about interjecting religion into your battles. We're going to annihilate our enemies so ravagely that they'll convert.
Wow, being shot straight to heaven. That's really not quite what the Bible says, but okay.
No, different take on it, isn't it?
I guess, yeah. Well, and I think that falls under interpretation someplace. Yeah. I just don't know where. Somebody give me chapter and verse and book of what in the world. No.
I don't think it would work. Jamie, did you want to add anything here?
I did look into it a little more myself, and the square bullet, if you want to call it that, actually wouldn't do as much damage as the ball. So, right. It was, maybe they didn't have ballistics gel back then like we do now to try it out. But yeah, what's funny is you said the Gatling gun. You see a picture, the artist rendering of it. No pictures were then, but right. It was one. They actually had a tripod. It almost looks like a Gatling gun, right? But I mean, narrower, of course, and not as many barrels. And it had the crank on the back. You put the cylinder.
150 years later, the Gatling comes out, and as we all know, that became an iconic gun that was used extensively in the Civil War. And what they changed was, of course, firing mechanism, and then went on with it. I've had the pleasure of actually shooting a Gatling gun. I can tell you, it was a lot of fun.
But you mentioned ballistics. I mean, I guess you didn't really have a whole lot of aerodynamic testing, but you would think, well, I don't know. 1862 times are a little bit different. You would think that a square traveling through the air wouldn't be quite as aerodynamic. I mean, call me goofy.
Yeah, I don't think.
Right, but the square one is what he thought, like when they were going to board the ships, like Clay was saying, when they were raiding these ships, like for close range, he thought that's what they'd, because they had cylinders, like they could switch out. I think I keep saying picture. I'm going to just go ahead and call it that. The picture I saw of it looks like they had like 4 or 5 different cylinders they could switch out. Looks just like you'd put in a revolver. So I suppose when they got close to the ship, they'd throw in their square cylinders and it could shoot, what did it say, Clay, 8 or 9 rounds?
9 rounds, yeah. And yeah, the square bullet, I suppose, in 17, 18, maybe that sounded like a good idea. They, like I said, didn't know a lot about ballistics. And the whole purpose under Mr. Puckle's idea was to inflict as much damage as he could to his enemy, that being the Muslims of the Ottoman Empire. But yeah, that, like Jamie said, that is not an idea design. What we have today is much better. Heck, the old round ball was better than having a square bullet.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least there's some element of aerodynamicness going on, if that's a word. It is now.
It never did actually see battle either. And he tried to get the British government, he tried to get them to buy it. But what they say, there was 2 of them were actually manufactured, and the prototype was made from iron, and the other one was made from brass. So I don't know how brass barrel works. I guess the pressures back then weren't like modern firearms. But yeah, it never did. It never got to try to convince anybody of Muslim persuasion to become a Christian, I guess. But
yeah, no, it didn't work very good. And that flintlock mechanism, which was an ignition type system, if you ever seen the old, it was just too unreliable, and it failed. And of course, it never did go into big production. It was a failure. But it was an interesting gun to read about. It really was. I didn't know about it. I thank Patrick for sending that to me because, I love that kind of history. But yeah, can you imagine? The square bullet thing is what I was hung up on. I was like, really? Can you imagine shooting a square bullet?
Well, I suppose you'd think flat on flat would. I mean, I could see where the guy's coming from. He was a lawyer apparently. So.
Oh well, that explains everything then. Well, there is a good side to it. You're not wasting space in storing your inventory, right? Because you have round bullets and you got all that wasted space between them. If they're square, you can shove them up against each other. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something out of this here. Desperately, it's not working very well either.
Square peg in the round hole.
Literally, right now, and that was the first time somebody tried to shove a square peg into a round hole. Yeah. Now you know. Somebody had to start it, and there's where it was. And then Fisher Price or whoever came up with the little kid's toy. And if you've seen the meme on Facebook, you know that we should let kids play with those because otherwise they try to throw a couch in the backseat of a small subcompact car and it doesn't fit. So that's why you let kids play with that stuff.
What's interesting, I kind of thought, too, is he was going to convince the Muslims to become Christians with his gun, and James Gatling was going to convince the Southerners that the North was right with his, right? And I don't know that either one of them worked.
I don't think anybody was convinced too harshly.
No.
And the Gatling gun, man, that thing, and the one I shot was actually converted over to a 45-70, something that could, shoot a modern day cartridge and more readily available. But I can tell you what, man, I can't imagine if you were in battle going up against those. They worked pretty much flawlessly. And I cannot imagine that rotating barrel coming at you with all that lead.
How about a little war reenactment? Let's get some of those, and let's see what happens. You wouldn't even need Kevlar. You just need like a rubber, vest or something. You bounce right off.
Kevlar's for the deer, Todd. You know that. Joe said that.
Is that why they wear them in Oakland? And Compton and stuff? Come on.
Compton.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Pick your favorite. South Chicago, pick your favorite. Detroit, North Minneapolis, pick your favorite. Lake Street, Minneapolis, pick your favorite. Seeing the headline.
How reliable was that? The Gatling gun, Clay, did it jam on you a lot, or was it pretty reliable when you were shooting it?
It was pretty reliable. every once in a while, one would come out of that because it's an overhead magazine, I guess you'd call it. I mean, it isn't a clip; it feeds from the top, and every once in a while that would jam. But it was pretty reliable. It really was. I imagine if you get some reproduction ones, maybe they're even better yet. But it wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. Like I said, once in a while, I mean, it's a rotating cylinder with a crank, so you have that possibility, but it really wasn't. It wasn't that often.
Back then, a magazine was something that said National Geographic on it, I guess. But Guns in the 701, 827. A quick one here before we hit the break here, and then we'll do some more. But I was seeing the headline, Arms of the Independents. How did you celebrate your Independence Day yesterday?
Goodness,
Clay and I thought, Todd, we just kind of keep, with Independence Day, we were going to talk about some of the weapons that the Colonial, the Continental Army, and the British used. So we're not going to go too in depth on it, of course, but we got some guns we'd like to go over that the muskets and the rifles, and of course they didn't just use that, right, Clayton? They also used blades and other things.
Blades, hatchets, swords.
Rocks. There you go.
The indigenous fought on both sides of that war.
You guys know I'm stuck on that whole King killed Abel with a rock thing, but it tends to shut the people up that think only guns kill people, nothing else can. I saw in a cartoon once you could drop a piano on somebody and kill them.
Yeah, a coyote won't even kill him. Won't even kill a coyote.
It didn't kill a coyote, but you notice every time it didn't even touch that bird.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Never harmed a feather on Roadrunner.
Meep.
But good grief.
Well, we come back in, Todd. I want to hear some revolutionary music. I want to hear some flutes going or something when we come back. There we go.
We put those away for the 4th of July. We're already on to Christmas now. You're lucky I'm not playing Sleigh Ride or something.
Oh, you're skipping right over Thanksgiving.
Just to do like retailers do. You just start pulling out you put away the red, white, and blue on the 4th of July. And see if I can type, and then thank God I'm not having to fumble for actual records or something like that. Now that we're past Independence Day, everybody, it's time for Christmas. What would you like in your Christmas stock? Is a Guns in the 701 Christmas stocking kind of long for like a rifle?
Oh, we got handguns too.
Well, right. Well, and you can fit several handguns in it, but I mean, you don't want to stick a rifle in a handgun stocking. Most of it would be sticking out, and there'd be zero element of surprise going on.
Heck, that's fine with me. I like to know I'm getting guns for a gift.
Is there anything else to get you other than stuff for the gun?
Ammo, and I like.
That's for the gun. Hello. What else would you be doing with the ammo? Come on, man. Guns in the 701 here on Cape. Sorry, I just had to do it. It's 8:30. More coming up on Cape Fire.
Fire Farm Field Forecast is brought to you by Northwest Tire. Generally.
Now let me see your war face. Ah! You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Bandit.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment, America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Bandit.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair. Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
.845 and K-Fire Guns in the 701. Hey, happy 5th of July, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you guys are the type to wish people a happy 4th of July yesterday, then you better be stepping it up every single day and adding another.
No. That was Happy Treason Day. Happy Treason
Day, you silly colonials. What's the matter with you? You're making the Queen cry or whatever. I don't know. I had a Queen meme.
Good.
I had a meme with the Queen on it. I forget what it said. I should have dug that out.
Meme with the Queen. I like that. You got to rap in there a little bit.
All right, so
about what UK was thinking, or the British was thinking about 1776. I think we quit caring about that.
Well, for the most part, we quit caring about it long before 1776. It just took that long for the paperwork to get through.
That's right.
It's not like you could. Right? It's not like you could hit Control P and it would print for you back then. It was a little more complicated than that. Just saying. So out in the Puget Sound, a homeowner shot and killed a drunk intruder. Do they out in Western Washington actually let that kind of thing? Because in some places, not only is it legal, it's practically encouraged. But we are talking somewhat liberal Western Washington, figures the left are on the left end of the country.
Yeah, so I found armed citizen story. I made sure it was from a July 4th, from an Independence Day, Todd. And around 10 p.m. on Sunday, July 4th, 2021, a 48-year-old guy who they said was intoxicated drove up to a home, broke a window, and entered the residence. That was his first mistake. He probably didn't realize that since he was intoxicated. Homeowner heard the noise, of course, called 911. The intruder was heard screaming and yelling, and he was carrying a bottle of alcohol as well. So, you break into a guy's window.
Why would you?
Calls 911.
I guess if you're that drunk, you just don't know. Because, I mean, generally, don't you run lean and mean when you break into somebody's home and not
Todd,
break?
I've been pretty blasted, and I've never went to the freaking wrong house. I mean, that's no excuse to me, as this guy found out. That's no excuse for me.
There's a difference between going to the wrong house. I mean, I've heard of going to the wrong house if you're... Hey, look, my freshman year of college, drinking age is 18, and I quickly discovered I'd really be a hardcore alcoholic if I stayed there, so I moved along. But
well, if somebody's really drunk, don't break into my house, because I'm not going to let you off on that.
Well, I just did. But
so, this guy, Todd, he starts walking up the stairs, right? And that's when the homeowner, who's standing at the top of the stairs with his own gun, shot the intruder, who, according to police, passed away right there on the spot. And like I said, the dispatcher said he could hear yelling from the intruder and what sounded like a scuffle. And then the homeowner advised that he shot the intruder. The cops said he'd break into somebody's house. That's a frightening situation to put people in, which I agree. I don't care if you got a gun or not. That would be. And
what's the name of there's a legal term, castle doctrine or something like that, right?
Yeah, well,
in Florida or whatever. I mean, I doubt Western Washington. Heck, you can pitch a tent in somebody's front yard, and all of a sudden you're a squatter and you have rights.
Well, we have castle doctrine, but we don't have the duty to retreat anymore, which is really stupid. But I always like that when they add this in these stories too. The sheriff said, and unfortunately he lost his life. And I tell you what,
he didn't lose his life.
Well, I don't think it is unfortunate, because if you don't want to get shot or killed or anything, I don't care how drunk you are or whatever you're on, don't break into somebody's house.
Well, exactly. First of all. Second of all, you didn't lose it. You know exactly what happened to it.
Right, exactly. Right. He didn't
notice
find it anymore.
You notice how it's different if you go into a store and lose your kids versus if you go into a store and you lose your grandma? I mean, one sounds like a passing away, and one sounds like you just simply misplaced them. But this guy did not misplace his life. We know exactly what happened, and he got stupid.
Luckily, the homeowner had a gun, because who knows, this drunkard comes in there and breaks a bottle over his head and either kills the homeowner with it or it could turn the guy into a vegetable the rest of his life.
You can't call people a drunkard. What's the matter with you? It's called alcoholically challenged.
I'm going to use that one from.
I literally just made that up on the fly, folks. I literally, it popped into my head and I just went with it, and it sounded good when I did it. I'm going to go with that one.
My guess is Clay would have had the guy sit down and made him a cup of coffee and tried to sober him up.
How about some lemon tea with honey and blah, 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 yeah.
No, neighbors would start talking, going, I think Clay bought a bunch of pigs. I wonder what happened up there. Disposal system on Earth.
Oh, I started calling you Woo Peterson.
Yeah.
Remember Woo from
I thought that was a secret, and we weren't supposed to tell him about we were doing that.
No,
I'm going to have to watch Deadwood to figure it out. Yeah, so hey, I love it. Guy used the Second Amendment rights to the firearm to keep himself and his family safe from a guy who broke in. And like I said, I couldn't care less if the guy was drunk or sober or on meth. You don't break into a house, you won't get shot.
Well, that's just it. It's pretty simple. I mean, you don't, and
it was in a.
Again, we're back to the my age old crutch of a Cain killed Abel with a rock thing. Forget that it is a gun. The fact is, it could be a can of Spam or something. Somebody's going to throw something at you or hit you with something, or perhaps even shoot you. Don't go in to somebody else's place, and that stuff is far less likely to happen.
I mean, it could be anything. Knife, bayonet,
right?
Or
toaster.
And Todd, I sent you that. I think I sent you a meme, right, Todd? That They didn't try to ban rocks after Cain killed Abel with it, right? But that's what we try to do now. We try to ban the gun after somebody uses it to.
I bet there was some. Right? I bet there was some leftist back then that wanted to get rid of all the rocks.
Oh,
we need to glue them all to the ground so people don't pick them up and throw them.
And it's not a new idea, guys.
It weighs over I don't know whatever weight measurement they used back then in your house. It's too heavy.
Too heavy.
Smash too hard.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, guys. It's not a new idea. As we just celebrated Independence Day, what was the King of Britain trying to do? Trying to disarm the populace in the colonies over here. I mean, that's
well, you can't find all of us, can you?
Yeah, and what our people do? A bunch of militiamen got together and they went and raided the munitions armory that the British had, and boom, they were armed.
Ta-da!
Speaking of drinking, right, at the Concord Bridge, I think the guys were gathered up at a pub there, and they grabbed their arms and went to meet them at the bridge.
You know how hard it is to shoot a musket when you've been drinking a little bit?
I've never shot a musket, actually, Todd.
There's words nobody's ever said on the radio before.
They were a smooth bore, so accuracy was a relative term. But there were some guys that were good with them.
Right.
As long as you can hit the broadside of the barn, you pass the joke. Guns in the 701 on K-Fire here at 8:54. All right, the new stuff hits when? And I got to get birthdays and stuff on here. We got to. They make me go after a while. Otherwise, who knows what I'm going to bring up?
This will get downloaded and uploaded onto the podcast, especially like on iHeartRadio. Go there, iHeart.com. Best podcast in North Dakota, Guns in the 701. So it'll be on there shortly after today, and everything else uploads on Wednesday night. And we got one more week of Commie Tube suspension, so go to the backup channel. It's all over our website. You can find it. And that ironically happened last Friday from our show with you, Todd. Someone reported us as cyberbullying and harassment, and we got nixed for 2 weeks on Commie Tube. I don't even know what we said.
Just the word gun. So from here on out, we're gonna disguise it. It's gonna be Nugs and the 701. And instead of using the word gun, we'll use the word nug. So it's gonna be our secret code. And in that way, if somebody says you guys are bullying, well, what's a nug?
Yeah, what's that? Yeah. Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Make them.
Man,
that's
Jamie
nuts.
701 Nation coming up, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing 701 Nation is going to be this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, on all the Guns and the 701's social media platforms, and of course on the website.
All right.
Watch. That's going to be the basis for repealing the Second Amendment once and for all. It's bullying. Get the anti-bullying people. I'm not. Believe me, as a guy who grew up in inner city Minneapolis, Lake Street, where the riots were, right? I'm fully against bullying, but that's not what the Second Amendment is about. And if that's what you think the Second Amendment is about, we're going to send you to play in Jamie's civics class. It's held nightly on whatever shooting range you pick, and you're buying the drinks.
Absolutely.
There we go.
And I did send some.
I got that.
I did send some freedom seeds down range yesterday, so it was a good day.
Freedom seeds? Is that what you just said? Oh my god!
Yeah, freedom seeds.
I love it. Why have I never heard that one before? I got to get out of the studio more.
Show on Wednesday night.
Well, because, geez, I'm taking a nap. I got to get up at 3 a.m. and do this stuff for a living. So.
Well, that's why you can catch it on iHeart, Todd. The best podcast on iHeart.
I know I'm busy putting stuff on iHeart. I'm busy lying to Michael and Daryl and telling them their podcasts are the best things on iHeart. Don't tell them I lied to them about that stuff.
I appreciate you admitting
Sad to see a grown man cry, but, All right, guys. Hey, have a good weekend. I know we just had a day off. Now you get a couple more, theoretically.
You bet.
Have a great weekend.
You have a good one.
I'll be here the next couple of days. Don't worry. It's like a radio ranch,
right,
you know. It's if you're a rancher, you work a 7-day week, right?
Yep.
A lot of times.
You don't holler out the window. Y'all feed yourselves today because I'm taking the day off. I'm putting in for a sick day. I'm taking some PTO.
Or in the middle of feeding, we 10 o'clock. Sorry, got to take a break.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Yep.